Tasmania show.
Tasmania show.
Tasmania show.
Tasmania show.
Tasmania show.
Tasmania show.
You already know what it is.
Oh yeah.
Wagwan gang, back in this thing, and if you really gang, bang that like button. If you like the vibe, subscribe. If you don't have good energy, keep your ass inside. You're tuning into the Tasmania Show with Taz Tycoon, brought to you by Tazzy's Baddies. And today, we talking about Lil Durk, man. Free Durk. The judge just announced that they are going to use the lyrics from his Piss Me Off music video. But before we go any further, we're just going to go into the case when Durk first got arrested.
Appeared in federal court Friday afternoon, charged with allegedly masterminding a cross-country murder for hire plot that can land him decades in prison.
But it's me, I do everything to show the main weak.
This morning, rapper Lil Durk facing murder for hire charges. The 32-year-old is being held without bond after he was arrested by U.S. Marshals Thursday in Florida.
Some privacy will not be commented on.
The Chicago-based artist, born Dirk Banks, is known for his Grammy-winning song, All My Life.
All my life. Trying to keep me down.
Collaborations with Drake.
Surround Drake, around Drakes. Even though I got a case, I'ma do what it take.
And country artist Morgan Wallen.
They owe me, they trying to finesse me, they see what Morgan and know that I rap.
The arrest comes on the heels of a federal indictment against 5 alleged co-conspirators of Durk's, also arrested Thursday in Chicago. They're accused of carrying out a 2022 hit targeting rapper Quando Rondo in Los Angeles, which left Rondo's 24-year-old cousin dead.
The suspects approached from the alley, got out of the car, and started shooting at those victims.
Included in the indictment are surveillance images of the shooting that officials say Durk ordered and financed, allegedly in retaliation for a 2020 shooting in Atlanta that resulted in the death of his friend, fellow rapper King Von.
You see Von, you see 40 Glassy Booker, you see Mac.
According to the complaint, Durk was arrested on his way to the airport where he was allegedly scheduled to be a passenger on a private jet out of the country. Durk's representatives haven't commented. His latest post on Instagram shortly before his arrest promoting the release date for his upcoming album next month. Now, Durk will be transferred to California where he'll be held in pretrial detention. His arraignment is expected to occur in Los Angeles federal court in the coming weeks. Now, if convicted, Banks and the 5 defendants charged in the separate indictment would each face a statutory maximum sentence of life in federal prison. So far,
Hold you. That shit kind of made me a little emotional just now. Like, not just having sympathy just for Durk. There's a lot of people in prison for all different types of things, but just thinking about, like, at what point does the change switch, right? Some people could say, you know, he became Muslim. Like, he's doing the songs with Drake. He's doing the songs with, you know, J. Cole. And I'm not gonna lie, even when Lil Durk won that Grammy, I don't think that was one of the ones that was aired on TV. And it's just like, you know, the climb to the top is high, but the fall below is just, it sucks. Because I think about watching Durk from when he was with Coke Boys and Chinks and French Montana. Like, Durk has done a lot of, like, rebranding. I'm not saying that he's not with he calls himself the Chicago Jay-Z, Smirkio Carter. It was really like Durk was on the up and up. And right at the peak, this nigga just won a Grammy. Like you see, like, they don't give a fuck who you are. No one's bigger than the program. Diddy, they will lock your black ass up for whatever. And it's unfortunate to see the rebranding and all the things that's going on. But just to think that he's got 35 witnesses that are testifying against Durk. It's like niggas will do shit with you, but when it comes to their freedom or whatever, like, you can see the Thug case with Gunna. They call Gunna a snitch because he took a plea and Thug came home. You got 6ix9ine wilding about this shit. It's like, it's so murky and blurred. Like, you don't even know what's going on. But what makes it sad is that what's happened with Rolling Stone. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that. Matter of fact, I'm going to just jump to that because I was going to jump into Lil Durk real quick. But this shit is not good. It says, with a week to go before the start of Lil Durk's murder for hire trial in Los Angeles, federal judge ruled Thursday that the rapper's video and lyrics for his hit single Piss Me Off can be used as evidence. Damn. At a morning hearing, U.S. District Judge Michael Fitzgerald granted prosecutors' request to admit the video and lyrics over the objection of Durk's defense. In their motion, prosecutors argued the song shows Durk's resolve to avenge the death of his friend and protege, Davon King Von Bennett. Oh, Jesus. According to prosecutors, Durk blamed fellow rappers Quando Rondo, Quan Terrell Bowman for Bennett's death and was seeking retribution when he allegedly orchestrated a hit on Bowman that instead killed bystander Lil Pob in Los Angeles 4 years ago. Durk denies any involvement on the death. His lead single "Piss Me Off" in 2021 was the seventh studio album. I messed that up, y'all. My bad. "Piss Me Off," released in 2021, was the lead single on Bank's seventh studio album 7220. On the track, Bank raps, "Grab a gun if you ain't with it, pump up." Okay, grab a gun if you ain't with it. Put up money for a gun. Put up money for a hot car. Put up money for a bond. I don't see you on a regular, but I see you screaming Vaughn. God damn. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, who won't smoke with me? Maybe I'm trolling. Maybe I'm wrong for this shit, but I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I don't want to do any of the shit that's in the song, but like, who won't smoke with me? Like, that verse, you know, I know they trolling me. Like, when that shit come on, it's unfortunate that we like to dance to this shit, like the Julio Fulio, like the Young AC. Like, it's a lot of death type music that I'm not gonna promote and say that I like. But like, who the fuck is that? Like, that song went. It's unfortunate because it's like, okay, an actor can go out and act, but a rapper can't rap. Like, that's the shit that still gets me. So if a nigga goes in a movie and kills somebody, why is it imaginary? You know what I'm saying? Why is it like, why, at what point does the script on a television show, and this is not me trying to get nobody indicted, but what if the whole time we watching Power, Raising Kanan, we just watching the show, and sitting back looking at the shit, but we not saying nothing because it's on television. Like, there are some I don't get why rap music is so different than the screenwriters. Screenwriters are not going to jail for making shit up. But I don't know if it's like, yo, like I look at the storyline and I could put it together. But before we get into Trap Lord talking about what's going on with Durk and everything like that, we're going to get into this clip of Durk on Academics a couple years ago when he asked him about King Von. And
the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They'd be like, they be singing slide for Von. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, that song is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing them comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder why.
You know what gets me about that interview? Is that, like, you know how when you get your Miranda rights, when they pull you, well, whatever they do, and they say, you know, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in a court of law. And then niggas will be like, you got something to say? And niggas will forget that you don't have to say anything. But my thing is this, like, there's interpreters on body language and all different types of shit, right? He said, it sounds like they ain't saying shit no more. And I'm like, I get it. The temperament, the tone, you could see Academics' face. It's very, like, you could drop a needle. That shit was very uncomfortable, but he didn't say shit. And even, like, when they was on a Breakfast Club, that infamous clip of, I think they were on a Breakfast Club. They asked Durk about something, and Vaughn said something. He said, you know what I'm saying? My thing is like, yo, I choose silence over violence. And my thing is this, like, if Durk doesn't talk about it in the interviews, but he talks about it in the songs, that's the part that kind of gets me, that makes it murky. The actor and the screenwriters can talk about it on script. The rapper won't talk about it, but he'll rap about it and won't say who or what. So it's like we're trying to, I don't know. But Trap Lord, the podcaster, he went to Durkio's court case, and them talking about using "Piss Me Off." Basically, what happened was there was a time in Atlanta where I think Durk shot a gun in the air. And in that situation, they arrested him. They're talking about being reckless or whatever. And in that time, they confiscated his phone. And they've been trying to get into that phone to basically put stuff together. What they saying is they're trying to take that phone that they've had for 5 years and take the information off that phone and put it with whatever's going on. But every time they unlock the phone, they can't get into the phone to get it. Man, we just gonna let Trap Lord break the whole thing.
Courthouse from the Lil Durk hearing, and there was another kind of not so great piece of news for Durk. I mean, really, this was actually very bad news. It was ruled that this evidence that was on his phone, remember we heard about he had a phone that was taken from him after he was this victim of a home invasion in 2021. He had fired shots into the air, and allegedly, the cops basically said that they had probable cause to seize his phone to investigate because things weren't really adding up. Even though he was the victim of an alleged home invasion, they said that he'd been reckless and fired the shots into the air. Now, they held on to that phone from 2021. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, because it happened in Atlanta, they had kind of, tried to crack the phone. They had got like a very basic, cracking of the phone where it was they described it as like a first unlock mode. So if you turn your phone off and you turn it back on, you're in a first unlock. It hasn't been unlocked yet, right? So if your phone is in that state, what it basically means is that they can't get everything. They can't get all the messages. They can get all your images. They can get the thumbnails. They can get screenshots, but they can't get the actual messages. So Durk and his team were basically trying to argue that because the phone had been held onto for 5 years, the FBI filed a federal search warrant for the phone all the way in June 2026, that they shouldn't be allowed to use that evidence, and it was gathered improperly. This was an L for Durk. The judge basically said, look, it seems like the cops acted in good faith. They had good reason to look at the phone, to seize the phone, to go through the phone back then because of the reckless shots that were fired into the air. It's not the FBI's fault. It's nothing to do with the FBI that the phone was held onto for so long. The FBI asked for that information in good faith, and the judge even said that if they continue trying to get hold of all of the other contents of the phone that weren't available yet, if they get them between now and the trial, which is in like a couple of weeks, he said, well, if the feds manage to get all of the information off those phones, then we're gonna have to revisit it then and decide whether I'm going to be allowing them to look at all that stuff. And it sounds like that is going to be able to be used against him. And the contents of the phone was pretty damning. It was, photographs, screenshots. Apparently there was a screenshot of a conversation where they were trying to get Lil Tim's address. And the government basically said, yeah, that we have the metadata to show that screenshot was 2 days after Lil Tim was released on house arrest. So they were tracking his movements. It sounded like the stalking was taking place. They said that the screenshot of Quando Rondo's concert posters that were, found in the phone, that was within a few days of, him being shot at outside of his concert. So the government basically said, look, we got that information fair and square. The judge wasn't really trying to hear the other arguments. I mean, he was trying to hear them, and he said, I'm not going for it. It is going to be allowed. And, he said that it sounds like the authorities acted in good faith, and if they get more information, they're going to be able to use that too. So that was pretty bad news for Durk, to be honest with you. But I'm going to do a big...
I don't know if it's getting worse from I thought the 6ix9ine, the Treyway, and then you got the damn, what was it? The Young Thug and the Gunna situation. And then you got Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane. And then now this shit with Durk, it's like the thing, like niggas must have been plotting. You got a home invasion where you're the victim. That sounds like the situation when I think Lotto or Glorilla's house was robbed and they tried to say that it had something to do with her. You fire shots in the air after a home invasion, and you're not supposed to do that. But they kept your phone. It's so weird. I don't like this shit. Sounds nasty. And I will say, I have seen people say like you don't hear the free Durks the way you hear everybody else. I don't know what that's about. I know Durk when he talked about Shiesty when he was home, but now Shiesty's back inside. I don't know, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that's probably too like, I ain't trying to be around OTF. You know what I'm saying? That branding they said that they was gonna do, they rebranding. There is a lot that comes with this. But Woody, you know what I'm saying, basically breaking down with academics like the whole situation with OTF and people turning their back. Like, I'm not saying that there's anything that anybody can do. I know Thug, he talked about sending his lawyer to, help him out and everything like that. And I think that, people, I don't know, the way Durk would, I'm not going to say he rolled for everybody, but the way that people will talk about you, it's like, what is talking really going to do when you break everything down? But we're going to get into this clip of basically Thug sitting down with Loon and him talking to him about how, he talked to Durk 1 or 2 times, but he's a solid guy.
With Lil Durk, last couple of weeks you had an encounter with some of the people that represent OTF. Is it still love with Durk? Have you spoke with Durk? Where do things stand with him?
I spoke to him one time when he was in jail for sure. And I just told him like, man, everybody with you, bro. We love you, nigga. Head up, chin up. You'll be all right. God willing, you'll get on out of there, bro. You're a good nigga. You solid. You got them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody got their ways, bro. But when it come down to just being a man and being solid, he's a solid man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nigga solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I only had one conversation with him since he's been locked up, you know.
Yeah.
You know, that jail shit, nigga in the Fed, man, nigga.
Yeah,
that nigga ain't trying to be on the phone with us.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, that shit, as far as like Durk, yeah, my little brother, bro. I love that nigga, bro. I sent my lawyer down there, man. Yeah. I sent Brian Steele down there.
For Durk.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Real facts.
Yeah, we
Yeah, that's Thugger, you know what I'm saying? Yo, talked to him one time, sent my lawyer down there, you know. I'm not saying Thug doesn't care. And I don't know, this situation could be very sticky. It's like the Diddy situation, right? In the beginning, you had like Rick Ross, you had Hitman Stevie J. I don't know where Stevie J is right now with everything, but it's certain people that's just like, hey, yo, you got that going on over there, like 6 degrees of separate. I ain't trying to be over there. But the way that Thug talked about him, it sounded sincere, you know, in that sense. But as far as like who's checking on him, you know what I'm saying, who's in his corner, I know praying up, you know what I'm saying, that like really, you know, if India, you know, his wife, or if they're engaged, I don't know what they have going on, but you really want to have somebody, you know what I'm saying, in your corner. Just listening to him say that, it made me think like you get to a point where it's like even listening, if y'all haven't checked out my Pooh Shiesty episode, it's like you do all of this stuff and you're on this high, and then when you're in that cell and you're trying to get your commissary and you writing letters. My dad did a life sentence, man. He had life plus 80 years. He's been home 7 years doing this thing, BYDS. Everybody doesn't get a second chance. There's people in prison for things that they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, God is going to provide. It's all written out for us to begin with. So this was always a part of the testimony. We do have free will, you know what I'm saying, to go and do certain things. It's unfortunate because I think that some people will hold you hostage if you've already started to make the change. Like if you took someone's life, they want you to have justice. They want you to stand on that forever. To me, I don't know if Durk was really outgrowing the people in his circle and everything else. But, you know, 6 degrees of separation is real. But before we get out of here, I'm going to play this clip of Woody just basically from, I think he's from Young Thugs. Yeah, Woody basically on Academics breaking down, like, the lack thereof support. Like how if you got songs with Drake, I'm not sure if there's anything Drake can do for him. But it's just like, yo, where is that same energy at with Drake and J. Cole and all these other different people?
Try to stop NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk. Now Lil Durk sitting in jail. Y'all ain't even saying free Lil Durk. Y'all ain't even trying to help Lil Durk. Y'all ain't started no type of campaign to make Lil Durk look more like love, more where people like, you know, he might deserve another chance. Let's have sympathy for him. No, these Lil Durk out the way because guess what? They not cut from that same cloth as Lil Durk. See, Lil Durk got caught up being around all these fake, bro. And now he in jail realizing this the same way I had to realize it. I put my life on the line for these, bro. Just for these.
You putting your life on the line for this shit when it comes to the streets. These niggas don't give a fuck about you. They're not gonna think twice about you. But it's like people will use you until you're useless. But you just gotta make sure you find people that won't misuse you and abuse you. You have to find the right way to be used. Like at the end of the day, we are all here on the planet and we're all here to help each other. You know what I'm saying? And one person's dreams isn't more bigger than the other. It's about how you're utilizing and using your people. And unfortunately, just the way that he's breaking it down, like I will say that it is kind of weird. It's like, I don't know, it's black and white. I don't really do gray areas. And I don't feel like you can fuck with the same people that got the same ops. I don't know. I think you could be neutral in your business, like somebody like a French Montana. You could find a way to be out the way and not be in the mix. I think he's been doing a great job. French Montana, shout out to him. He's got Max B. He's not in the Drake situation. He's not in the Rick Ross situation, but he's very much infused into it. And it's like, how can you take like a neutral approach to it? But what I see right now is ain't nobody talking about Lil Durk, but NBA Youngboy has been outside. And it's just like when it comes to those two names, it really sucks. And that's why when I say on my channel, if you really gang, yo, you only got to bang Neapolitan colors because we love baddies over here and we love to get money. That's the gang that I'm representing, man, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to make sure that whatever I influence people to do on my platform, that it's going to give you opportunities to grow, not put you behind. You know what I'm saying? So whether your gang is OTF, if it's OVO, if it's Rock Nation, whatever your gang is, the Lakers, the Sixers, 76ers, whatever it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Your gang needs to be you identifying what it is that you want. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, God. You know what I'm saying? That's where you need to find alignment with. But when it comes to life and socializing, we all got people that we want to hang out with and stuff, but you got to make the decision that, you going to stand on whatever comes with that. And me, I'll cut a bitch like Edward Scissorhands, no hesitation. I don't give a fuck. If you're not contributing to my growth and I feel like you're cancerous, I'll cut you the fuck out and not think about it. But if you really gang, bang that like button. If you like the vibe, subscribe. If you don't have good energy, keep your ass inside. You tune into the Tasmania Show with Taz Tycoon, brought to you by Tazzy's Baddies. Let's go.
Tycoon running up the score, Tazzy's Baddies on the floor. And that ass is super fatty, call me Zaddy, throw some more. Super nasty, she a savage, slaughter, fucker like a whore. Popping bottles, foreign models, Tycoon on the world tour. Shorty, what you bad for? Turn this to a hit-a-thon. Damn, all your bitches bad, tell them they can come along.